So let's do this and talk about the things I'm excited about, like the Netlink that most people don't know what. Alright, so this is one of my prized possessions. I'm a big Bomberman fan. Paid $20 for this box at an anime convention in Detroit that I went to for the first season of Mondo Cool TV, which is, I don't think that's on YouTube. It's trash. No, I think the premiere episode's not on YouTube or something. 2010, I think. Went to an anime convention. Got this for $20, complete in the box. You'll notice he's got this marble in his belly. This is a Bomberman Beat-em-on. It's a marble shooting toy based on Bomberman. There's a Super Nintendo or Super Famicom game that I have we'll talk about in a minute. So I got this just because I like Bomberman. The next day, the Hudson Soft Facebook posted an article about how rare these are.
Wow.
And you can only get them from Crane Games. In Japan, they call them UFO catchers. That was the only place you could get them. This guy at the anime convention had 4 of these. Huh. So, this is just some stuff I bought on eBay. Some more Bomberman Beat-em-on figures. I think I paid like $20 for the set of 4. Paid $20 for this. That's my Bomberman stuff. This is an interesting piece. I like the game Virtua On. It's a 3D robot fighting game. And, the arcade version has these twin sticks. It's better to play with the Saturn pad. Honestly.
Yeah.
You'll one of the guys from the Netlink forum, I played Netlink mode with him, and he commented on my videos, and he told me like some how to play Virtual On the correct way. Yeah. It's called jump canceling. So if you jump and cancel the jump, you'll lock onto the enemy.
Okay.
So if you ever play Virtual On and you know that, you just got 90% better at Virtual On.
Nice.
Like, I used to just wreck them on the Netlink forum after this guy taught me that. But I like the series. I like this controller. It looks awesome. It's fun to screw around with. So I bought this for myself for my birthday. This is where I keep my loose Genesis games and Master System games. Now, I went to a thrift store after watching a Pete Dorr video saying that cassette tape drawers, right, for like audio cassette tapes, fit perfect for Genesis games. So I went there looking for a cassette tape drawer, and I find this Genesis. I was like, oh, that's meant to be right there. That was just pure fate. One of my buddies from the internet, Justin, he got this signed by, I don't know, some guy that came in third at a Tetris tournament. Yeah. He sent it to me. Like, I don't know. Moving down here, we got my Saturn collection, which it's not the biggest Saturn collection, but there's a lot of hits here. Astol, that's a real colorful 2D platformer. It's a real beautiful game. D, that's interesting. It's worth playing exactly once.
Survival horror, right?
Yeah, it's weird and very Japanese. It's worth playing once. Duke Nukem 3D. This works with the Netlink, and there's a 2-player co-op mode. And then you can also do deathmatch. You can do Duke matches and play versus, or you can play through the whole game cooperatively on the Netlink. One of my favorite series, Panzer Dragoon. Panzer Dragoon 1 and 2. I have the third rail shooter on the Xbox. Don't have Panzer Dragoon Saga money. Wish I did. Saturn Bomberman's probably one of my all-time favorite games. Again, Netlink compatible. The Netlink mode you can have up to 4 people playing. It's the only Netlink game that allows for more than 2 players. Most people know this because it supports up to 10 players with multi-taps. There's a Saturn multi-tap that's got Bomberman's head. The Super Nintendo version of the Bomberman multi-tap. 3 Dirty Dwarves. This is one of those ones that no one talks about, but this is a game you need to play.
Looks cool.
So it kind of reminds me of the Lost Vikings. There's 3 characters and you toggle through them with the shoulder buttons. There's a level where you fight a gym. It's like a Gold's Gym, right?
You're kidding me.
So these people, there's like the enemies are inside throwing weights and like protein powder at you, and then their feet pop out of the bottom of the building and it starts hopping around.
Wow.
There's a baseball level where you got orcs. The orcs are the other team, right? And they're like pitching. So they pitch, you hit the baseball, and you got to hit the enemies with the baseball and get all 3 of your dwarves to go around. It's nuts. It's one of the most creative games. Moving down the Sega CD. My buddy Justin, again, he found this on his Craigslist for $30. Lunar the Silver Star. This is the next Sega CD game I want to play. This is another one of my treasures. Back when this was going for about $90 on eBay, I paid about $90. It's got this little tear in the manual, but other than that, like, you might not even notice unless someone points at it, but Snatcher. This is one of my favorite games. Metal Gear Solid Collector. Metal Gear Mark II in it. Have to have it for the Metal Gear collection. Because once upon a time I had a complete North American Metal Gear collection. So that's the mental gymnastics I used to pull the trigger on that.
It makes sense.
Neo Geo AES. This is probably the most remarkable title. This was a gift from my friend Freddie, a longtime podcast listener. You know, I still keep up with him on Instagram. He is a Neo Geo guy. So you'll notice that Sega people, like, there's just something about them. Like Sega, there's like a whole special breed of Sega people.
Yeah.
Same thing with Neo Geo. Like, you're just a special kind of guy if you get into this. I've spent, these are like the $30 and less games, so it's like all fighting games and nothing remarkable. So my only long box PS1 game, Kingsfield. Phenomenal first-person RPG series. It's made by From Software, the people that do Dark Souls, Demon Souls. You think those games are hard? You ain't played Kingsfield. Man, this just drops you in the world. And it's like, good luck.
Wow.
And you're gonna die.
Let's see the back of it.
Like, it's first person, real basic. This is actually, in Japan, this was Kingsfield 2. So this is like a 1995 first person RPG. It's just brutal. But it's fun. Like, it's worth playing.
Never heard of it.
It's my only long box. I just pulled out Ghost House because it's one of the Sega card games. I think these are neat. It's kind of an arcade style action-y platformer. You're this little bat boy and you have to beat Dracula, and you move through different levels. I don't know. It's okay, but it's one of the card games. This is my only import. This is the best version of Ghouls and Ghosts. Get it on the Sega Master System. This is the best version of it. Can't tell you why anymore, but I believe this is from Australia. Penguin Land. This is one of my new additions. I just started buying Penguin games, and I don't know why.
I've got that one. I haven't played it yet.
It's a good one. It's a pretty tough puzzle game. It didn't take too long for me to get stumped. Felt like a dunce. Phantasy Star, this game holds up really well. I always worry before getting into an 8-bit RPG that, like, is it going to be too grindy? Is it going to be too hard to get into? This one hits that sweet spot. And I think anyone can pick up and play this if you're into that sort of thing. Spellcaster's interesting because it has a sequel on the Genesis, Mystic Defender.
I've played Mystic Defender.
These are both based on Japanese cartoon, manga, comic book, whatever, something like that. This is a good game. So it's like side-scrolling action game, and then in between the side-scrolling levels, it's got like an RPG menu, and you like talk to characters, and kind of a unique title, but I think this one's not that expensive. What do you call these? Rail shooters. An on-rail shooter, your Star Fox, your Panzer Dragoon. Burning Force. This is Namco's scrolling shooter. So you're like an anime babe on a rocket bike, and you're going through training. So it's like each level's day 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, I think, of your training. So there's one level where you're on the little hover bike where you're like just limited to going left and right, and then you get the flying mode where you can move around more like Star Fox. Haunting, starring Poltergeist. This is one I always talk about is why I love Sega. This is EA before they were trash. Their manuals are cool because they have like biographies of everyone that worked on the game.
That's cool.
So, I mean, this was back when EA was cool. And this game, you play a punk who died because I think like the company that made the skateboard was like pumping out crappy products, right? So he haunts their family. So each level is a house that you have to scare them out of.
Nice.
And you like possess the furniture. You turn the couch into a giant mouth that like chases them around. You can possess all the items in the house, and it uses up your like little energy bar, and then there's a like mini game in between levels where you refill that. This is one of those games that's just so weird that you only find it on Sega. Isometric view action adventure game like Zelda, but I think with better characters and better gameplay.
What's that one called?
Fight me on it. Landstalker. I'll argue with you in the comments all day long.
It looks cool.
This is a classic game. This is one of my favorite. You've been watching Mondo Cool TV, so you probably know more than you ever wanted to about Rolling Thunder. This is a series that my friend Cyril put me on to, and man, I fell in love with it. Rolling Thunder 2 and 3 are the best ones. There's a Namco Switch collection that has the arcade version of Rolling Thunder 2 that is worth having in your. It's also got the arcade version of Rolling Thunder 1, so it's worth having. Splatterhouse 2. If I was smart, I would have taken a before picture, because when I got this, it was like 2 out of 10 condition. It's just like blasted with rental stickers. The silver ones that leave the void.
Oh man, yeah.
Rubbing alcohol takes it right off.
Really?
Just wiped off.
Wow.
Like it wasn't even there. This is a game that I want to have the time to play.
Yep.
So bad. Look at this manual.
It's huge. It's like a book.
It's heavy when you pick it up. It's like 100 plus pages. It's got background information on the alien races. Cool artwork in here.
I remember when I first picked that game up and felt it in my hand, I'm like, why the hell is this so heavy?
It's made of bricks.
Yeah.
There's also a big poster-sized star chart that you need to navigate. There's like 800 planets. And
wow.
Like if you pick your crew, right? So like if you get a lizard man on your crew, the bug aliens will attack you because they hate each other. Like there's just stuff like that. This is an oddity. This is a very affordable title. We were talking about this earlier. There's a send-away card where you can get a 2-player link cable that plugs into the Player 2 port of your Genesis. And so if you got a buddy that's got a copy of this game, you each got a Genesis, you each got a TV, you can play cooperatively. You can play through the whole game 2-player on System Link. On the Sega Genesis, first-person shooter. That's wild.
That's ahead of its time is what that is. That's
very
crazy.
Very affordable game. Just a few boxed 32X games, nothing remarkable. Just got this recently at a yard sale, Mario Kart Double Dash. This is something I want to spend some time with. Pac-Man Versus. So there's a cable where you can use a Game Boy Advance as a separate screen, and like, you know, the people on, I think the people on the Game Boy controls Pac-Man, and then the other people plugged into the GameCube control the ghosts, or vice versa, something like that. Nothing too remarkable on my GameCube collection. I got Killer 7.
That's a great game.
I tried to play it for 2 seconds. Couldn't get that excited.
You gotta give it another chance, man. Stick with it a little bit longer.
That's why it's sitting right here. Got the Donkey Konga games. I got
those are fun.
You go to yard sales and you're gonna get $1 Donkey Konga.
Yep.
I got like a boxed one, a couple loose ones. Like you're gonna find them. No one wants that crap. Twin Snakes, Metal Gear Solid guy. Sin and Punishment. That's a cool game. It's made by Treasure. Rail shooter. I'm into such things. Bayonetta 2 on the Wii U.
It's a great game.
We got a Wii U in the house. But then it came out on Switch like everything else. Yeah, Captain Toad. Xenoblade Chronicles X. Got this cheap at Walmart, like $5. It's like, okay, I'll put you on the shelf. The Switch is probably the modern system I'm most interested in.
Yeah, me too.
It's handheld, so you can take it on the crapper with you.
Yeah, exactly.
I got 5 minutes. Let's try to work on this, 800-hour RPG one dump at a time.
Yeah.
I bought this day one, Super Bomberman R, just to support the brand, because I thought we were never going to get another Bomberman game.
That one's not too bad.
The Bard's Tale. This is basically Baldur's Gate, but I think it's Baldur's Gate. There's some legitimate RPG that runs the same engine as this. It's an action RPG, but it's just a joke.
Yes, right.
This is one of my best $20 bargain bin purchases. So it's just taking the piss out of all the RPG tropes. Like this guy just wants to get laid and party and not go on a magic quest. So like, that's a good one. I like horror movies. That's my other thing. So the Evil Dead games were actually pretty good.
They are. They're good games.
Like you wouldn't expect these. They're better than they had any right to be because they were like $20 new. It's like these were budget titles when they came
They're not budget anymore.
Really?
Yeah, the price is going up on the Evil Dead games.
Bought this one, bad boy, brand new, and this I got used later. But Kingsfield 4, The Ancient City.
Never heard of that.
This one I actually have played a lot. Like I got real frustrated with that one. And,
is that still From Software?
Yeah. They got another. They have like a ton of first-person RPGs.
Eternal Ring. I've seen that one.
From Software.
There's another one too that a lot of people don't really know about. I can't remember what it's called. Evergrace.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that.
That's another From Software PS2.
This is really good. A lot of people that are into the series like this one the least, but I don't know. Once I learned how to play it, I got like 75% of the way through, and I still need to finish it. I do that a lot. I started to play like halfway,
I do too.
And then like in 5 years, I'm like, I need to finish that.
I think that's a pretty common problem nowadays.
Yeah. This is a game that I played on a demo disc my mom got. Robot Alchemic Drive. It's a giant robot game, but you play from the perspective of a puny human on the ground level, and you remote control the robot.
Huh.
So you use the shoulder buttons to manipulate the feet to make it walk, and then you use the analog sticks to control the punching, and you fight like giant space animals. Giant space ants has the worst voice acting.
Nice.
Ever. Like, have you ever heard this like TurboGrafx CD voice acting?
Yep.
Shakespeare.
Wow.
In comparison to this, but this apparently is a rare game. This is just something I played the demo disc a lot.
Yeah.
And then I bought it on Amazon for like $8,
Yeah.
and then the Racket Boy article popped up in my email. It's like, top rarest PS2 games. Like, well, really? Interesting title down here.
Ninja Golf.
Now, on my season 0 of Mondo Cool TV, which is just pure trash and no one should go out of their way to watch, there's a segment where I submit gameplay where for about 9 months I was the world record holder.
Really?
I think I'm still number 2 on Twin Galaxies. Dark Chambers, I got this last year, not too long ago. Plays like Gauntlet. People call it a Gauntlet clone. You're wrong. This is a sequel to the game that Gauntlet is a clone of. This is like a remake of a game called Dandy, which is basically D&D, Dandy.
Yeah.
So then Gauntlet ripped that off, and then this is a sequel to Dandy. I got a boxed copy of Gargoyle's Quest.
Oh, that's nice.
Have you seen that Mondo Cool TV episode?
Yes, I did. Where you did, you looked at all the games.
Read People's Fortunes with Tabby.
Yeah, I remember that. That was pretty
stupid, but it was fun.
It was entertaining.
My Nintendo tapes, the Dragon Warrior games, I got them out on the shelf, so I don't have to futz around with the box. Gargoyle's Quest 2, the accompanying game. Top notch. The first game in the series is on the Game Boy, plays almost exactly identically. Almost the exact same plot beats. It's basically a remake, but they call it a sequel. So Ninja Gaiden, that's my favorite Nintendo game.
Fantastic game.
Got it back in the day, in the early 2000s. Didn't grow up with it. I was like, oh, ninjas. I like ninjas. And it's like, damn, this is a good game.
Really good,
cutscenes.
Yeah.
It's like, really
Did you ever beat it?
No.
It's hard as hell.
Second to last boss is as far. I used to be able to play up to like level 5 on a single guy. Like I got real good at the first part of the game, but then there's like a point where I just never got good at. Rolling Thunder. There's a little bit of a story. So Tengen is Atari, and they publish these weird, funky games, right? This is a Namco game. So in Japan, there is an official Famicom version of this, and what Namco would do is they would have like special cases. So it's kind of like a Sega Genesis case, and it's real top notch. And then because of the licensing issues with Nintendo, Nintendo of America wouldn't license this, so it got published by Tengen. And then that's why you started seeing Namco games on Sega Genesis, because of some of that like licensing shit. Swords and Serpents, I mentioned this to you earlier when we were out at a game store. This is a 4-player, first-person dungeon crawler.
That's pretty wild.
So if you got the Nintendo Satellite or something along those lines, player 1 controls navigation through the map, but then when it goes to a battle, each person controls the fighting for the battle. And then you can also do 2-player, where player 1 plays 1 and 3, and player 2 plays 2 and 4.
Okay.
So I've played it like that. Tengen Tetris. When I started collecting, and like 20 years ago, this was the game people talked about being rare and pricey, but now people don't really talk about it. Now it's all about Little Samson.
Yep, Little Samson.
Why weren't you telling me about Little Samson 20 years ago? One of my other favorite Nintendo games no one really talks about, Street Fighter 2010. This is a good game.
I got my ass kicked when I tried to play that game.
Good game. Penguin Games, Binary Land. It's a Hudson Soft puzzle game. You control both penguins. They mirror each other's movements. You got to navigate them to the middle of the level. Fun game. Splatterhouse Wanpaku Graffiti. It's the super deformed version of Splatterhouse. Really good. Bomberman Beat 'em On. I mentioned that with the Bomberman Piggy Bank. So this, it's a marble shooting toy. So like, I think you're supposed to, it's kind of like bowling, let's say. But you're shooting marbles out of little Bomberman figures. This is the video game version of it. Cosmo Gang the Video. I was on a forum, and someone in Japan was playing a game. He posted a couple games. You guessed which one was the cheapest, and he'd send it to you for free.
Wow.
So I got this from some anonymous guy on the internet. It's a queued-em-up version of Galaga.
Huh. Interesting.
This is another one that I didn't know was rare until I was at this local game store, and they're asking like $90 for it. It's like, really? I paid $8 for that on Amazon when I got it.
What is that?
Knights of the Round, King Arthur.
Oh, okay.
So you're Arthur, Lancelot, and Percival. That's your balanced, fast, and strong characters. It's a Capcom, so I told them.
Yeah.
Another game I didn't know was rare until someone told me, Ninja Gaiden Trilogy. I bought Ninja Gaiden 1, 2 back in the day, could never find 3, and I thought, oh, I'll get this. It's $3. It's got all 3 of them. $1 in Ninja Gaiden. You can't beat it. Operation Logic Bomb's going to be part of a Mondo Cool TV episode. This is the 3rd in a series. Fortified Zone on the Game Boy is a really good 2-player Game Boy game. It's an overhead action game. You find like key cards and fight bosses. It's real short. The second one never came out in America, but it's the best game in the trilogy. The second one on Game Boy is really good. I've got that 2-player setup I was telling you with the GameCube and the Game Boy, Super Game Boy. This is how I recorded the 2-player footage.
Gotcha.
If you look through my Instagram, you can see just the tip. And
just the tip.
Okay, thank you. Someone finally gets it. It's a dirty joke, guys.
It is.
So there's a Just the Tip segment from Mondo Cool TV where I give just a tip. It's just like a gameplay hint. And I tell you how to like revive your buddy if you're playing 2-player. You're not going to get that content anywhere else.
Right.
And that's really exciting to me.
Yeah.
Like, who else is playing Fortified Zone 2-player? Lost Vikings, my other favorite series. Lost Vikings 2 is on PS1 and Saturn. This is the best version. I think the graphics are better. I also have the Genesis version of the first one, but these are 2 of my favorite games of all time. Okay, one of the best PS1 games. Apocalypse.
Really?
Bruce Willis. Twin stick shooter.
Yeah.
Cheap as dirt last time I looked. It's just a twin stick shooter. It's like, Robotron 2084, something along those lines. Tremendous game. Super 90s. My copy of Splatterhouse. I also get pretty excited about Sinistron. It's just a side-scrolling shooter. Diablo. This is my girlfriend's one of her all-time favorite games. We played through this all the way. We beat Diablo. This is something I get excited about. PlayStation Underground CD magazine. So the first one's like videos about upcoming games, and then this is a demo disc. And it's got a little bit of literature for you.
That's cool.
I subscribed to this back in the day. It came out quarterly. And this is how I found out about Omega Boost, which really should be pulled out if it's not, because that's one of my favorite games. It's how I found out about Tomba. So this is PlayStation's Panzer Dragoon. You're a robot, you fly around in space, kind of like Zone of the Enders, but arcade, fast. This is a good PlayStation game. Check this one out. Best Spider-Man game, Fight Me.
I think I've got the Dreamcast version of that.
Also acceptable. Exact same game, just slightly better graphics. The N64 version doesn't have the voice acting and cutscenes.
Right.
Tomba, Tiny Tank. This is like a wisecracking tank. Right? He's tiny. So there's these cutscenes before the apocalypse where he's the spokesperson for a weapons manufacturer.
Yeah.
So basically Skynet. He's the mascot for Skynet.
Wow.
So after Skynet, or whatever they call it, has taken over the world and humanity's dying, a defense satellite wakes him up. So it plays like the old commercials, which are hilarious. You're fighting against this evil AI. I don't hear a lot of people talk about Tiny Tank. This is a good PS1 game. Dreamcast, I got Zombie Revenge.
Never heard of it.
Related to the House of the Dead.
Okay.
There's a level where you go through the Curian Mansion, which is the mansion the first House of the Dead takes place in. But this is a 3D brawler.
Gotcha.
Beat 'em up. My favorite version of Wolfenstein 3D, the 3DO version, the Wing Commander series. And this is a remake, an enhanced port of the first Wing Commander, Super Wing Commander. This is the second best Bomberman game. There's a port of this on the Sega Genesis called Mega Bomberman. It's good in a pinch, but this looks and sounds a lot better. Nothing too remarkable on the DS, just, the usual suspects. Oh, I got this as part of a deal at a yard sale. Paid $11. This is a complete copy of Seaman. It's got the microphone, the little foam doodad, like everything. I do have the Dreamcast keyboard, but this is the Sega Saturn keyboard. So there was a package, you could get the NetLink. You could connect to the internet with it. It has a Planet Web browser that goes with it. So over here, I used to call it my Tower of Power. I used to have all this crap in a bookshelf. It was much more tower-like. But this is just some like boards. Maybe someday I'll paint them a color or, or something. But I really more function over form. It's just everything's all set up, ready to play. Your Wii 360, PS3, Wii U, PS4, my 60 gig PS3, original Xbox. It's got the upgraded hard drive. All the games are on the hard drive. Because the disc drives are trash. Another Wii. This one's soft modded. I basically only have that to run Fatal Frame 4. My PS2s, Dreamcast. You got your GameCube, Game Boy Player. I also have the broadband adapter in here. Never done anything with it. Model 1 Genesis, power base converter. This Genesis happens to have a region switch. Don't need it. It was an easy mod. The part was like 99 cents. I was like, I'll make a video about it. 3DO, I got real cheap. My favorite, best working Sega CD. PC Engine, got this complete in box. Buddy from the Netlink forum was in Japan, $20 in the box.
Wow.
This is a gift from my woman. I always used to say if I win the lottery, the first thing I'm buying is a Turbo Duo. My Neo Geo, got that from a buddy on a forum. This is the Saturn I put the most hours into. It's got a mod chip, a region switch. This is a mod chip to PS1. Turbo graphics with the Turbo Booster, not the Turbo Booster Plus, unfortunately, so it doesn't save my gameplay. The multi-tap and an extension cable. It's just a DIN cable. You can get these on eBay for a couple bucks. So I can actually sit across the room. My childhood Super Nintendo, Super Game Boy 2 with the EverDrive, Sega CDX. Interesting unit. This is basically a memory card. It's the CD RAM backup, so you can save your games to it. JVC XI with the 32X. If you want to play a CD game, you gotta pop that out. But this is the one I use a lot. This one's not really hooked up. It takes 3 power adapters.
Wow.
But look at it.
Yeah, it's cool.
You want to sit that out.
Yep.
Nicole found this on a Facebook group. The box of like 30 boxed games, like $40. So like, this is the Intellivision you want. I have 3 of these. 3 of these are broke. They have the same issue. There's a capacitor that it's a cold solder joint. So all you have to do is open it up and reflow solder. One of the 10,000 things I'm going to do someday. But this one, they just work. Master System, last thing I was playing, Penguin Land. I like the color of this. I like looking at this. I like the aesthetics of this. This is just, I like this.
Looks good on a shelf, that's for sure.
My top-loading Nintendo. Got that for $10 at a house party.
Wow.
2600 Junior, 5200, 7800. I don't get too excited about Atari. I actually have the official 7800 composite video cable, which apparently is uncommon. Atari 800 XL, Commodore 64 vintage computers. I got Nintendos like in places. I just got Nintendos
all over the place.
I just got Nintendos. So this is what lets you play Genesis games. It's got your controller ports, and then once you insert this bad boy, it'll let you play Sega CD games if you don't want in there. So like sometimes I'll pull this out and I'll sit down on the futon because I need to be like face to face with my games. I don't know. This is where the Switch lives. The little HD consoles, they're like Velcro down because my kid just loves yanking on cables. Hidden back here is my Vita TV. I own 0 Vita games. This is something you've never seen or heard of. You probably never will again. It's a piece of shit. This is Memorex Viz. This is the first, a lot of people think the first game system Microsoft had anything to do with was the Dreamcast. You're wrong. It's the Memorex Viz. This runs a version of Windows 3.1. But Microsoft specifically said you can't let anyone know that. So there's like no branding. It's kind of like a CDI, like all edutainment titles that are trash, but somehow worse than the CDI.
Thank you for allowing me to come in here and interview you and tour your awesome game room and check out your collection and show it off to everybody out there. And thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure and hit that like button and let us know in the comments down below what you think about Jerry's collection. And if you have any questions about anything in his collection, throw those in the comments down below as well. As usual, if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing and joining the RetroWolf family so that you don't miss future videos. And again, I'm going to leave Jerry's YouTube information in the description down below, as well as links to his Mondo cool TV videos. Be sure and check those out, because you would be really missing out if you don't, I promise you. Until next time, keep playing games and having a good time, and we'll see you all in the next video.